the fight, guys. You are embracing the struggle. You are giving them hope for what you're doing. Leadership growth always precedes organizational growth. It's funny when people start to come to us at events and say, what's the secret for going diamond? And I can ask them a simple question back. What is diamond? And most people can't explain the steps to go diamond. Well, here's the thing. You have to become the pin in the process. That means every step of the way from director 300, 700, bronze, you are earning. You're going through the struggle so you can turn around and lift other people up. And this gets into our clarity and conviction. You can't begin to chart your road to leadership without starting to define what you are striving to be. Write it down and keep revising it every day and keep it in front of you. Do you have your why written down? You know, a lot of times on our leadership calls, people will start firing off questions. And I always go back to, why are you building your ASEA business? Now, sometimes people say, I want to help people. Guys, we all want to help people. Some say, I need to make some money. But you need to get a little bit more specific. And it's going to change over time. But guys, I'm going to tell you, what gets you through the tough times is knowing exactly why you're building your ASEA business. It doesn't matter your rank. What matters are your actions. Be unconditionally unapologetic, committed with clarity to your why. And by doing that, by striving towards why you're building your business, will inspire others with, you'll get people to the why by inspiring others through your discipline action, what you do every single day. Do what you're asking others to do. Here's something. Do you do what you're asking other people to do? Or are you trying to manage your way to the top? You got to understand something. People listen with their eyes, not their ears. That means you have to be true to your word. We always think people don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't think people know what's behind. It's your energy with what you're throwing off. And if you're true to your word, people will follow you. They feel the energy as you move forward. And be empathetic. Guys, you can define that. What does that mean in our industry? You joined ASEA for your reason. Other people on your team will come for their reasons. Don't try to push them for your own goals. Find out what they want and help drive them to their area or help lead them to their space. Some might want to come in just for the association of people, and then some might want to build a large business. But if you teach the people that want to just associate with people like they want to build a large business, you'll tend to push those people away. So you can control the controllables. You need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. This gets into what people also, when I've been asked, if I had to do it all over again, what would we do different? Well, things have been pretty good. But when I reflect back on that, I go back to Trish Winkler. Now, Trish Winkler is the #1 income earner in ASEA. And she said in the very beginning, 2 a day brings freedom my way. And I got to tell you guys, in the beginning, I said, hold on, I need to go a little bit quicker. So I wanted to get 10, 15, 20, 30 a day and get focused. But here's the thing, the brilliance behind what she was saying. If you're committed to every single day, 1, people can duplicate that. 2, the thing is, if you hit 30 today, that doesn't count for 15 days. If you hit 30 today, hit your 2 tomorrow. That means you're showing up every single day. Because guys, when you first start in your ASEA business, you are a party of one. And what you have to do is invest in yourself. Through your books, through the leadership calls. You have to learn to fail fast. Guys, we try to be perfect. And what you have to learn is to be perfectly imperfect. And by failing, you learn to succeed. And you also can leverage through others' experiences and stay plugged in. How many of you have ever been camping or been around a campfire or at least seen a picture of a campfire? You know, if you take a piece of wood that's in the fire, you kick it out, what happens? It burns cold. That happens if you get away from your group, away from the leadership. Now, how do you get that wood burning again? You kick it back into the fire and it starts burning. It's so easy, guys, to get everything rolling again. Become the leader you would want to follow. What does that basically mean? Guys, think about this. Who are you trying to attract? Would you like to sponsor a Trish Winkler in your team? A Denny Robinson, an Alan Noble, a David Silverman? And if you're not, oh yes, here's the thing. You have to become their person you're trying to sponsor. And that is a gift of network marketing. We don't talk enough about the struggle, but through the struggle you become strong and you become that person and people will follow you. And you have to learn to sharpen your saw every single day. See us put some programs in play to help you as you build toward your leadership success. One, the director bonus. What is this? Know what this is. Within your first 14 days, you sponsor two people frontline to yourself, you've earned the director bonus. Although it seems small for a $50 bonus, if you duplicate that, guys, you can make a lot of money. Fast Forward Plus, these are another tools that you can leverage. These are things to help you stay on track towards your success in your ASEA business. Then you look at the executive momentum and the diamond pools. Guys, these are like carrots to help you strive for more. And you get more every time you hit a goal, you keep on getting more. And then you got the incentive trips. Guys, there's some amazing things on the trips you're going to see coming from the diamond trips to the ascent trip. But I want to make it very clear. When these incentives pop up, they only inspire the leader that's already within you. It's not the trip, it's not the incentive, it's already in you. It just kind of wakes you up because there's a timeline and you get hyper-focused and you got to learn to control that leadership within. So think big and execute small. Treat these everyday small things like big things. Guys, don't miss your calls. Stay on task as you're building your business. Treat every task as it is your legacy. Your identity and your goals will be shaped by these small decisions, the small actions that you make every single day. Think about that one statement. How many of you have ever gone to work out? After New Year's, everybody wants to do what? Get back in shape. They start working out, and they start getting results. And what happens? They stop one day. And then the next thing they know, the next day gets a little bit easier to not show up again. That's the reason, guys, you have to show up every single day. Now, here's the biggest thing I don't think we talk about enough when it comes to building your ASEA business. We are truly building a family. And as these slides start to pop up, every time we go to events, from our quarterly events, to our weekly events, to our monthly events, to our annual events, it's like a family reunion. Some people are in your business, some people are not. But here's the thing. The pictures I can tell you about that was on there, from Sherry Marshall to Pepper Black to Dr. Maureen Hayes walking, and how I met them. But the slide you're seeing up right now gets into a specific story that I'd like to share with you. See, this is Leland Duck. Leland Duck happens to be a triple diamond in our business, and a lot of you've heard of Leland. But do you know how he was introduced? See, it was about 6 or 7 years ago, I got a call from a friend of mine. He said, my daughter just cut somebody's hair today, and he was talking to her about a network marketing business, and she told him, you need to talk to Terry Latham. So I said, okay, great, what's his number? They give me the number, I pick up the phone, I give him a call. Well, I pick up the phone and I talk to Leland's son, Jason. He says, hold on one second, I want to introduce you to my dad. Leland picks up the phone, and at that time I thought Leland was a doctor. We started talking back and forth. Leland was a part of another company, and he started sharing with me his company. Now, guys, on the back end of that conversation, I said, I appreciate what you're doing. I want to encourage you to stay with where you are. Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard of redox signaling molecules? He said, I have not. Well, science and medicine basically has stated that this is a great health and science breakthrough of our lifetime. Why don't you kind of go look at this information? So we did, and he decided to become a consumer. Now, guys, we became friends. I would stay in contact with him. I live just outside of Austin, Texas, in Dripping Springs, and he lives up in Plano, Texas. Now, when I go up and hit to his area, we'd sit down and have lunch. And I was never there with the intent to sponsor him in ASEA, because he was a friend, and we became friends in the process. Now, over time, things happen, and Leland found himself in his position. He gets onto the product and has an amazing result in the product, and the rest is history. But this is why I'm sharing with you the pictures on the slide. We've been in crazy times these past few months all around the world. It has affected everybody, but it's also affected our kids. And the thing is, as you have your family at home, when you focus at home, and I'm trying to express to you, you're also building a family outside. So I reached out to Leland, and we're sitting there talking back and forth. He said, Terry, I'm up at my ranch. And he said, why don't you bring your son up? So, guys, you can see the picture. We drove up to ask my young son, who's 12 years of age. I said, son, because guys, my youngest was having a little bit of a difficult time. So I loaded it up in the truck. We drove up to go to Leland Ducks Ranch in Wapanuka, Oklahoma. Say that fast 3 times. And we drove up to his ranch. You see the Duck Ranch sign in the front. My son was so excited. And at a moment in time, he was free. He wasn't worried. He wasn't worrying about the things that was happening around him. He was focused on what was that was there. So we drove up to the ranch. Leland met us all up front. Now, you got to remember, guys, my son wants to be a cowboy. We go and he gets up. We get into Leland's Gator. You see my picture of my son driving the Gator. We drive around his ranch. He shows them all across the property. This is a beautiful place, a place that Leland's put a lot of love into. And as we drove around, we were able to look at hogs at night. He took them fishing on his 22-acre lake. You can see him taking pictures. And then we got to get up like real cowboys get up. We got up early in the morning, and my son was excited, but yet he was tired, and I wasn't able to put the video, but he was kind of barely getting there. And we go down there as Leland was going to separate the calves from the mama cows. Well, my son was able to sit. Now look at the picture at my son sitting next to Leland as Leland's charting, going through the stuff. Now Leland's telling him how he runs his business. And then look at the picture of my son as he's standing on the top of the corral, and he's watching the cowboys do their work. Let me express to you something. That's my family. At home, we deal with our family there. But outside, as you build your ASEA family, we come together. And thank you, Leland Duck, for what you're... I've got stories like that from so many different people that we've personally brought in, and they're cross-eyed to me. That have made my kids, my family, feel as theirs. So as you're building your ASEA business, we focus on the income or the product. And there's much, much more. Through the struggle, you become strong, but you also build a family. And that gets into what our founder has declared: believe, belong, become. And in the process, you believe in yourself and your potential. You belong to a community of caring, like-minded individuals, but you become a better person professionally and personally in the process. See, guys, we tend to put all the credit around the income. I'm telling you this, as you're building your ASEA business, it's what you become in the process. And that, guys, is truly the most difficult thing, is the becoming part, because there's a struggle. And like getting strong in the gym, you have to struggle and lift weights. As it breaks down the muscle fibers, the same thing, you have to break down your past. My question is for you, if you don't break the cycle, who will? And you see, guys, in our organization, as people start to do things, fast forwards, go to a different pin rank, even if they fail a fast forward, because you only succeed by failure, we always say at the bottom of the caption, way to lead from the front. Guys, I can express to you the love I feel for everybody that's a part of this company and the family that we have out there and what we're building today. Thank you for letting me take some time with you this morning.